Do you remember standing up after you make that tackle?
News tonight on Buffalo Bills player Damar Hamlin, who millions watched collapse during Monday Night Football, suffering cardiac arrest.
That's something I don't really want to get too deep into in the details of.
January 2nd, 2023. Two of the NFL's best teams were squaring off, with much more at stake than just primetime coverage, the Buffalo Bills against the Cincinnati Bengals. The outcome of this game would alter the entire playoff landscape and path to Super Bowl 57. What's at stake? The number one seed in the AFC, the only team to receive a first-round bye and hold home field advantage for the entire postseason. It wouldn't be easy, as both teams hadn't lost in nearly 2 months. They met each other at the perfect time, Week 17, on Monday night. The game started with the intensity everyone expected, like a high-stakes showdown. The Bengals charged first, moving down the field in under 3 minutes, with Tyler Boyd securing a touchdown. But the Bills weren't backing down. Tyler Bass answered with a sharp 25-yard field goal, keeping the energy at a fever pitch. The crowd was roaring, every second more electric than the last, but no one could have prepared for what happened next. With just over 6 minutes left in the first quarter, the Bengals had possession again. Joe Burrow passed to T. Higgins, who fought hard for extra yards. Damar Hamlin stepped in to make the tackle. Everything seemed normal. Hamlin stood up, adjusted his helmet, and then collapsed. What followed was a scene no one could have imagined. The play was instantly halted, and suddenly, another Bills player was down on the field. Whistles sounded. Panic set in. Within mere seconds, a team of medical professionals flooded the field, ready to save Damar's life. CPR was administered for 10 agonizing minutes as the ambulance arrived. Time felt like it stopped. Damar lay motionless on the field for nearly 20 minutes. Both teams gathered around in disbelief, unable to understand what was unfolding. His family ran to his side, their worry palpable in the air. The stadium, once a loud, energetic roar, now stood in complete silence, every fan holding their breath. With oxygen flowing, Damar was carefully placed into the ambulance with his mother, beginning the 4-mile journey to the University of Cincinnati Medical Center. As the ambulance pulled away at exactly 9:25 p.m., it had been 30 minutes since Damar collapsed. The world waited, hoping for a miracle, while the game was indefinitely paused. You see a cluttered TV broadcast and then hear this from Joe Buck.
Minutes to quote-unquote get ready to go back to playing. That's the word we get from the league and the word we get from down on the field, but nobody's moving.
As you can see, teammates remain seated, hug each other, and shed tears for their teammate, whose status now remains up in the air. During all of this, both head coaches had been discussing with officials, leading to the decision by Buffalo head coach Sean McDermott to pull his team off the field and back to the locker room. Another 30 minutes pass, and the game is officially postponed over an hour after Damar collapsed. Meanwhile, his status remains unknown as the world waits for what feels like an eternity for an update. Stefon Diggs, other teammates, and Bengals head coach Zach Taylor go to visit Damar at the medical center. But on Diggs' way in, he's stopped by an officer, nearly having to force his way in, stating, "We just had to be here for our teammate." Just outside, an additional 100 fans stand hand in hand in support. Then finally, there is an announcement on Damar's status. He had a heart attack on the field. Damar was able to regain his heartbeat, but still remains in critical condition. But in the night following the incident, something magical happens. Damar's charity and toy drive, the Chasing M Foundation, receives an unthinkable amount of donations. Before the Monday night game, his foundation had $74,000 in donations. The very next morning, with the help of over 119,000 new donors, that number had reached over $3 million, and that amount has skyrocketed to over $9 million and counting. But amongst this amazing moment, nearly 3 days passed without any major updates on Damar's health. Then, on January 5th, not only does the NFL officially cancel the Bills-Bengals game, but the world receives information about Damar directly from the UC Medical Center. His neurological function is completely intact. He is able to breathe with a breathing tube, hold hands with his family, and even communicate by writing. The first question he wrote was, "Did we win?" The medical staff responded, "You won. You won the game of life." But it gets even better. The next day brings another significant update and 3 powerful words from Damar himself. His breathing tube is removed as he is able to breathe completely on his own. His neurological function remains intact, and he is able to talk to his family. Damar is even able to say his first words to his teammates in over 4 days in a FaceTime call. He tells them simply, "Love you, boys." The next day brings the NFL's first game action since the incident. Love is shown in incomparable ways. Every single team in the league shows support during warm-ups by wearing Love for Damar shirts, but nothing is quite as special as what the Buffalo Bills had in store at home for the final game of the regular season. Buffalo players walk through the tunnel, repping Damar's number 3, Damar Hamlin shirts and hats. The Bills run out into Highmark Stadium to a packed-out crowd full of supportive fans. Multiple players carry Love for Damar flags. The entire team sports number 3 patches, and the medical team that responded to Damar's collapse is honored right before kickoff. But how the actual game started is even more unreal. The New England Patriots win the coin toss but defer, so the Bills will receive the opening kickoff. What unfolds next is something out of a movie. Let's listen in.
As New England decided to defer after winning the toss. And here's Hines on the run back, breaking a tackle and taking it past midfield. And down the sideline he goes. This is storybook. An opening kickoff return for Damar Hamlin. And this place is absolutely going wild.
But that's not even the most unforgettable moment of it all. The best part? Damar watched all of this unfold live on TV while he was at the hospital. When Hines ran this opening touchdown back, Damar celebrated a lot. According to the UC medical staff, he got out of his chair, jumped up and down, and nearly set off every alarm in the ICU. A truly touching moment. That energy remained throughout the entire game, making it a very special day for not just the players and fans, but also the most important people involved in this incident. The Bills brought home the victory, 35-23. They FaceTimed Damar just minutes following the win, and then came the gifting of the game ball. A game ball was handed out not only to Damar, but also to the man who saved his life less than 1 week ago, Danny Kellington, the Bills' assistant athletic trainer who performed emergency CPR that Monday night. He was part of the essential medical team that was able to respond immediately to save Damar's life and neurological function. Without them, Damar would not have made it off the field alive. And just 1 day after this emotional regular season closer, Damar was able to return to Buffalo due to remarkable improvements in his condition. On January 9th, exactly 1 week after the event, Damar was discharged from the UC Medical Center and moved to the Buffalo General Medical Center. His condition had been updated from critical to good, and he was able to walk and do physical therapy. But he didn't stay there long. While at Buffalo General, they conducted cardiac, vascular, and neurological tests, and in just 1 day, Damar was able to go home. From this point forward, he was given permission to rehab away from the hospital with family and teammates. And just 1 day before Buffalo's playoff opener against Miami, he was able to visit teammates, appearing to be in very high spirits, a major emotional boost for a team that had just witnessed this tragedy. He attended Buffalo's divisional matchup with Cincinnati 1 week later and made his first public speech since the incident a couple of days later.
I can't tell you how appreciative I am of all the love, all the support, and everything that's just been coming in my way.
These were the heartfelt words of Damar Hamlin, a man who had just survived the unthinkable. His journey, from a terrifying collapse on the field to an outpouring of global support, became more than just a football story. It became a testament to the power of humanity. Social media became the bridge that connected millions to Damar's battle. Fans, teammates, celebrities, and even rival players rallied together, flooding his Twitter and Instagram with prayers, messages, and unwavering support. Fan-made tribute videos circulated across platforms, while major figures from both inside and outside the NFL sent words of encouragement. It was as if the entire world had hit pause to stand behind him. Damar's gratitude didn't stop at words. He turned his second chance into a mission. He personally thanked every medical professional who played a role in saving his life, launched exclusive merchandise with 100% of proceeds going to the University of Cincinnati Trauma Center, and even reached out to his teammate Tre'Davious White in the middle of the night, apologizing for the emotional toll his incident had taken on the team. Since that unforgettable Monday Night Football game on January 2nd, 2023, the world has watched in awe as the scariest moment in NFL history transformed into something extraordinary. It became a movement, a reminder that sports are more than just games. They bring people together in moments of triumph, heartbreak, and most importantly, hope. Damar Hamlin's story is not just about survival, it's about resilience, unity, and the undeniable power of love. And through it all, he remains the embodiment of a true fighter.